In an earlier video, I discussed this shoulder holder as an option 1 for holding your tech. Let me show you another way, which might be better depending on how you fish. After doing option 1, I realized that for a lot of folks, it might be obnoxious to have your smartphone right in front of your face all the time. So I started looking for alternatives. And I think I came up with another viable option. It's this thing right here. It's a big, heavy wire bendable cable thing, if I can get that out. Your tech goes right in here, and it's got adjustment so you can change the angle. Now, the only issue with it is that if you're paddling instead of pedaling, you know, this could get in the way depending on where you have it aligned. You know, I could bend it over here closer to my stomach if I wanted, but I like it right here because I've got a clear view of the screen and I can check out my different apps very quickly just by popping them and looking at them. Also, just like on the other one, I can activate Siri right from here. Right now I'm interested in the tide. We're almost at high tide, so I'm going to sit here and I'm going to fish this shoreline off to my right that you can see, as well as this creek mouth right up here. So let me show you the construction. I elected to make the base for this out of a slab of HDPE I had, but you could use wood. Let me show you how I actually attached it to the utility track. Basically, I just cut the slab of HDPE, drilled a hole, and then used a bolt to go through and locked it down. You know, you could also use the thumb screws on either a regular T-bolt or on a toilet bowl boat, and this will screw down just fine and hold this on. The only thing is you need to be sure that this is large enough to handle the mount right here. I could actually cut off a piece of this now that I've sized it, and I think I'll do that in the future. While you could mount it in front of you, I think this is just going to get in the way of the rod holder. The instructions say to put some kind of a bend in here to minimize the wobble. It's still going to wobble a little bit, but I think the better place to put it is behind the seat and have it wrap around. So let's give that a try. I think it's going to be better here behind the seat. I can lock it down on this utility track, and I can let the arm here rest on the hull of my kayak, and that'll probably support it and keep it from wiggling as much. So let me show you what I had to do to get this thing stabilized on my kayak, because if you don't take some special steps, it's going to wobble all over the place. But I paddled out here 1.2 miles according to my GPS, and this was very stable. I could read it very easily. It wasn't jumping up and down, causing me to get airsick or seasick or whatever. To lock this down to the hull of the kayak, what I've initially done is just taken my bungee and looped it around like that. What I'm going to do now is take a little piece of metal I have and go ahead and attach that to the utility track, bend this up, and then it'll hook right under here to hold this down. Having this thing right here is really nice. I can just look over here and keep an eye on the tide stage, because I know that the fish are only in the specific places I go at certain levels of tide, and it's fruitless to stay there beyond that point. With this right here, I don't have to dig in my pocket. I can look down here, see when it's time to move. So which option do you guys prefer? You think the shoulder is a better idea or the kayak mount? If I had to give it a vote, I'd vote for the kayak mount. What do you think? Put it in the comments. Thanks.